Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to do my makeup, and the reason for this video is not really to show you guys how I'm going to do my makeup, because I actually posted my first ever makeup tutorial a couple of weeks ago. I'll link it up above. But I just want to talk to you guys, I just want to share with you guys all that has been going on for the past month and change, really like the past year, and just why I'm pretty much lagging in all areas of life, why I feel unbalanced. And this is a very atypical type of video for me. It's just not who I am to, like, I feel like life is rough, life is hard. There are always obstacles in my way and everybody else's way. I'm no, exception to the rule. But I feel like life is just constantly difficult, and there are things that are stressful and just situations that weigh on a person. And for me, I don't think it behooves me to rant and rave or to openly, publicly express every single time life is not going my way. Because truth of the matter is, I would be on camera multiple times a day, multiple times a week, multiple times a month explaining about how I'm screaming FML in my head. So yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna do my makeup and just talk to you guys about everything and give you guys like an update, and just kind of share with you guys, more importantly, how I plan to find my balance again. So if you're interested in hearing me ramble on about how my life is annoying for like 30 minutes straight, then please keep watching. Okay, so starting out, okay, so where do I start? Last year, well, in 2017 is when I started my YouTube channel, and before long that became, my YouTube became the income essentially, and the work that I was doing became like a little business, like a full-blown business. I mean, like, it's like I don't put in as much work as I do at my full-time job, obviously, because that's 40 hours plus depending on the week. But I mean, truth be told, the income, the gross income anyway, has for sure more than replaced my income at my full-time job. So anyway, yeah, started the YouTube channel in 2017, and then I started an Etsy shop in 2018, and definitely both of those combined was enough to replace the income at my full-time job. However, I really like my full-time job. It's what I went to school for and all that good stuff. So I've never been interested in not going to work. In fact, I find a lot of peace in going to work. So yeah, I find a lot of peace in actually, like going to work. I don't know, I just really like it. I work in the helping profession, so that really tickles my fancy. Long story short, last year was a hoot. Like, I feel like I had so many speaking engagements and trips planned, and I was working to put on that really big event, which was the Planning a Better Me retreat, which happened and took place in Richmond, Virginia. And that, all of that, and I probably did like legit 10 speaking engagements last year, half of which I actually planned, so that took more work. I co-planned it. I planned it with my business partner, of course, but just saying, like, some of them all I had to do was show up. The others were, took a lot of work with finding like venues and all of that stuff. So yeah, last year was crazy. So I told myself, interestingly enough, I told myself that in 2020 I was going to chill, because like I said, I started the YouTube channel in 2017, and then in 2018 is when I started the Etsy shop, and then 2019 is when I just was everywhere doing a lot of things, and that was very taxing. I know it was taxing because I'm literally never sick, even though you let my doctor tell it. She says that I have a severe vitamin D deficiency, and that I'm like, so what does that mean? Like, how does that affect my life? Like, in the nicest way possible. But I was asking truly, like, what does this mean? And basically, I'm supposed to be sick all the time and have a weak immune system and all of that, but I'm literally never sick, except last year I was sick all the time, and I think that was due to overworking myself and stress and all that. Also, we paid off like $20,000 in debt last year and saved up a bunch of money. We bought our first house in 2019. So yeah, 2019 was crazy for your girl. Crazy. My friends threw me a surprise party. I mean, like, I could go on and on and on about like everything that happened in 2019. 2019 was actually, I really enjoyed 2019. Like, looking back, I just had a whole bunch going on, and that was stressful. But anyway, yeah, so I told myself I was gonna slow down in 2020, and honestly, thanks to Corona, I had no choice. So January, I don't miss my birthday, my friends' or family members' birthday shenanigans. I made the decision to move all the way to Georgia, which means that I'm 7 to 10 hours away from my closest friends and family members. And I made that decision 5 years ago because I live in the city where my husband is from, because he moved back here, and eventually I followed him here because I definitely didn't want to live where I'm from. But anyway, I feel like I made the decision, therefore I don't get to see my friends and family members that often, and so therefore anytime there is a function of any sort, I'm either helping planning it or I'm there for sure. Like, I don't care about how much it's gonna cost me to get there, I'm going. All that to say, my friend wanted to spend her birthday, one of my friends, in California, so we went to California in January. That was super, super fun. I'd never been to California. And then in February, this always happens, they're back to back. February, I also have another birthday, so I helped plan my friend's birthday, and that was in Maryland. That actually took place where she lives. We planned it in her newly finished basement, so that was super fun. So, you know, my husband and I went to that one. The other one was more like a girls trip kind of thing, but we always pretty much go to Maryland whenever we're going to hang out with my friend in Maryland and her husband and stuff like that. That was February, and then March came. And did March come? So I had already been like planning to transition to a new role at my full-time job. Basically now I'm doing more, I'm still doing my old job, but I'm doing more of this new job now, which is pretty much like quality assurance. So I had already been like, we were already going to start making that transition in 2019, but we weren't going to officially do it until 2020. And so, you know, we were trying to start doing that slowly but surely, but March came. I think I had gone to like one training session with my supervisor. March came, and then Corona came, and then we shut down. Our whole facility shut down, and we were working from home. So that's what I've been doing for the last 3 months. I would say March was okay. April was even okay. A lot of uncertainty. Obviously, I couldn't go to stores and like shop for the new house and do all that stuff. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I don't really care a whole lot about that. Like, obviously my hair is done, my eyebrows, my nails, my feet, everything's done, and I'm going back into stores now safely with masks and everything. But like, in the grand scheme of things, you know, I wasn't really tripping about that. Yes, it was a bummer, but it wasn't the end of the world to not be able to get my hair done to protect myself and other people. March was pretty chill for the most part, to be honest, because I was working from home and still gainfully employed. My husband was still working, but then eventually when Georgia like officially shut down, he actually just came home and he wasn't working, so they were still paying him. So we have honestly been gainfully employed this whole time. And don't get me wrong, you know, there's been a lot of good things that have taken place, but yeah, this year has been just crazy. In the wake of Corona, which I don't know, I feel like that was the wake. Of course there could be, we may not have seen the wake yet, but anyway, during that time, you know, it was pretty chill. You know, I was at home, my husband was at home, we were doing projects and chilling. I was working from home, I was on top of things. You know, it was good times. Of course, also they extended the tax deadline, and we owe a lot in taxes, which we have the money now sitting in an account accruing interest, because, you know, it's not due yet, so we'll pay it next month in July when it's due. So right now, you know, we're just allowing it to accrue a little bit of money before we have to pay the taxes. So yeah, basically, you know, March and April was pretty chill, and then came May. Girl, I can't even put into words what in the world is what went on in May. Like, what is going on here? So first of all, my nieces were like, okay, well, since school is closed, can we come early now for the summer? So they came. They stayed all of May and part of June, and that was fine. The only thing was, like, I was just naturally out of my element because it was just a random, can we come early? And I hadn't even crossed my mind, like, you know, like asking them to come early or whatever. They just brought it up, and I was like, sure. So I tried to like film some videos and do as much work as I possibly could, because this was their first time coming to visit in the new house, coming without anybody. Like, I met their mom like halfway, and they came back with me. So basically there was nothing that was gonna stop me from spending every hour, minute that I had with my nieces. So that's what I did. So I neglected a whole bunch of stuff. But like as May, like that was just naturally what was taking place in May. But as May went on, it just seemed to get crazier and crazier. So, you know, during all this time, you know, it was coming out about like all of the police brutality and all of that, and like I was trying to deal with all of that, and I was also trying to deal with like the Black Lives Matter movement and the effects of that. Like, I don't know, it just felt very weird for me for like a bunch of brands and stuff to be following me. And then I noticed that, you know, some groups and people were like clocking companies and other people, trying to make sure that they were posting about how Black Lives mattered and getting their stance on it. And like, you know, I was running my mouth on Instagram and Facebook because that's where I run my mouth. But I was just like trying to process all of that. And then I feel like the thing that kind of took me over the edge was the sudden passing of my very best friends. I have 3 really close female friends, and the one that I've had the longest, her spouse, partner of 14 years, since half of our lives, was killed instantly. And I think that really threw me for a loop, because not only was I far away, her 4 children are my godchildren, and they actually, one of the kids was just born, so she's not even a year old yet. So, and I hadn't even met her. That's how new to the world she was. But I think that really took me over the edge, because I was so far away and she was so distraught. Everybody else was distraught. And yeah, I had to plan to go to a funeral. So I went home just recently, my husband and me, and I spent about 4 days with her and just helping and doing what I could and going to the funeral, which that was weird during COVID. Like, doing anything at all during this COVID time, it's just weird. And you know, May was just crazy. So now it's the first week of June essentially, and I'm just getting back from, you know, dealing with all of that. Because even the time leading up to when I was like going home, I still was like, you know, constantly worried about her and texting and calling, and sometimes she didn't want to talk or text, and you can't force somebody to talk or text if they don't want to be bothered. Then, you know, they just don't want to be bothered. So that was like difficult for me, you know, trying to deal with that. So I mean, it was probably a week and a half of me trying to deal with my emotions for just that, like the time that it happened leading up to the funeral, and me making arrangements so I could go to the funeral, and then going to the funeral, and then the days that I spent at home after the funeral. It was just crazy. Not only that, in May, my memory card broke that I've had for so long. My husband, we lost his, we don't know where it is, so we had to buy 2 new memory cards. So we went ahead and got like some really good memory cards, so they were like $30-some a piece. My DSLR is broken. I just took it to the shop. Like, it had been broken in May, but I finally took it to the shop maybe like at the end of May, and they told me that they called me when I was on the way to go home to like go to the funeral and stuff. They called me and they said that they don't have the part and they can't fix it. So now I have to go pick up the camera, you know, confirm with them what part it is, since they don't have the part and they can't get the part because they're like manufacturers or whomever, their suppliers are out of stock. You know, order that. So I'm gonna be like a month and change without my DSLR, which is annoying. And to be honest, I haven't even scratched the surface of everything that went on in May, or like the past month or 2 months maybe. Like, I can't even put into words. We have to pay a fee for my husband, a super speeding fee or whatever, which that we randomly got that bill, which he got that fee or that ticket like a year ago. And then I went to the dentist in January and they're telling me that I didn't have coverage, or they're trying to figure out why my insurance people aren't paying for it. So I'm like, now I have to deal with that, which is very small and minute, but it's just like something else that I have to deal with. Otherwise I have to pay $170. And then we had to pay our car insurance, which I was trying to shop around for a cheaper car insurance, but whenever they ran that final, you know, driving report, they saw a bunch of speeding tickets on there. Well, a couple of them from my husband. So instead of having to pay what I thought was going to be like $600 and change, we had to pay $1,200 and change. And that was, of course, for 6 months, which that's not a whole lot compared to what we normally pay, which is like $1,000. But it's just like small little things that have been like really triggering me. Again, I haven't even scratched the surface of everything that went on. I would have had to legitimately like write everything down to remember all that transpired. But I'm just gonna talk to you guys now about like what I plan to do moving forward. So I have dropped off my nieces. They are back home. I dropped them off before I went to the funeral. Of course, I had their mom meet me because, you know, that kind of made the most sense, so I could go be with my friends. So I dropped them off, and so now I'm back home and I have to get into the swing of things. So what I've done is I've planned out, which I do this anyway, but this month and the past month really was just crazy. So I planned out my content for the rest of the month. I am literally a month behind on my releases in my Etsy shop, so I have planned out time to work on those things. I've basically like tried to plan out my whole week and really like realistically the whole month. I have a running to-do list, like a huge to-do list on my phone of full-time work related stuff, business related stuff that I need to do, as well as personal stuff that I need to do. I did order our groceries, so I'm gonna go pick them up today. Today's our first day back. I'm gonna pick those up today. Interestingly enough, y'all, the house is rather clean. Because it was rather clean, I made a mission to have the girls help me to clean it. I haven't really had them to clean much. They were on vacation in my eyes. I made a mission to have them to help me clean like before we left. So the house really isn't a mess. I just need to clean upstairs pretty much. So that's one positive. I did go ahead and get my hair done, as you can see. I got my nails done, my feet done, and my eyebrows done. So of course I haven't been able to get those things done in like 2-3 months. Since before COVID, of course, but so I didn't run in there to get the things done because, you know, the place was open, but more so, or because I hadn't gone rather, but more so because I have decided that while I'm trying to find equilibrium and find my balance again, I'm not going to be dealing with like my nails, my eyebrows, trying to do them myself, my hair, I don't feel like being bothered with that. My feet, I don't feel like painting those and being bothered with my feet and like trying to keep up with them. So yeah, that's one of the things that I've done because these are things that are important to me. Like I don't want to look crazy by any means, on or off camera. So it just made sense to me to go ahead and get these things done. Like I said, I haven't even scratched the surface. Another thing that I think I'm gonna do is have my cleaners come back into the home and clean up again because I don't mind keeping up my house. I don't really care to clean, to be honest, but like it's not the end of the world. Yes, I'm gonna complain about it every single time, but like, you know, it's not the end of the world. I do find joy in organizing and keeping things clean. So yeah, those are just some of my plans so far. Like I said, I've written out a to-do list for all 3 categories of my life. I have planned out realistically the entire month of June in all areas of my life. I have gone ahead and gotten my hair, nails, and all of that done, so I don't have to be bothered with that. And also, another thing that I've done is, or I'm thinking about doing, is getting my cleaners back in here so I can take that off of my plate because I just feel like I have so much to do. My husband is a tremendous help in basically all areas of life. All I have to say is, can you help me with this? And he does it. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. Most of the stuff is really stuff that I have to do. Like, I have to design in my Etsy shop. I have to show up for my full-time job. I have to film these videos. He can't film them for me. So like, most of the stuff is just me stuff. So I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed. Like, I don't feel like when I was going into June that I had more on my plate. I felt like I had really lessened my load when I excluded, like, canceled pretty much all like engagements or, you know, vacationing and all of that, which I'm okay to do engagements and vacationing, but I couldn't do it at the extent that I was doing it in 2019. But when I like minimized all of that, I really had found like a great balance. But now that I'm just shook. So yeah, currently I'm just trying to get back to, you know, some normality because things are definitely not normal around here and I am looking for that normality, like seriously. I am planning to film like 4 videos. Honestly, you guys, I haven't filmed in weeks. It may look like I filmed in weeks, but I haven't filmed in weeks. So I do plan to film like 2 or 3 videos today. I'm honestly thinking also about taking off work. Now, obviously I took off to go to a funeral and all of that, but I'm thinking about taking off for like vacation, if you will, because I've worked. I haven't taken off throughout this whole COVID thing. So I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about taking off maybe like next week, like a couple of days next week, not for anything else but just for me, because like I said, I haven't taken off since COVID, or since before COVID, since February really, and that was only like one day because we went up on Saturday for the party and we came home Monday, and Monday was President's Day. I can't remember if we were off or not, but yeah, that is what I am thinking about doing. So I think this is gonna be my look for today. Again, I don't even really know what the purpose of this video was, other than to show y'all that my nails and feet and eyebrows and hair are done and I don't look raggedy anymore. And I'm just ready to take on the world. So like I said, I got a few videos planned for today that I'm gonna do. I need to do a video that I should have done weeks ago. I need to do a haul. Well, I don't need to do a haul, but I wanna do a haul. And oh, and I got some PR while I was away too, so I think I'm gonna like unbox that. So yeah, that's my plan for today. Then I'm gonna pick up our Walmart groceries and pick up my camera and probably order that part when they confirm what the part is, or so I can show them and ask them if that's exactly what I need. And then yeah, I'm gonna just be filming today and working on bundles and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that you are weathering this storm maybe a little bit better than I am, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.